Hello folks, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been 3 long weeks since City were last in league action here at the Park. This weekend we take on Oldham Athletic. Here is what's coming up on this week's Park Life. On this week's show, Matt Taylor joins us for his pre-match thoughts, as does Jack Sparks on his return from injury. We also take a look at previous encounters with Oldham, but we start with a look back at highlights from City's last 2 matches, our FA Cup draw at Bradford and our Papa John's Trophy match here at the Park against Bristol Rovers.
Here's Caprice. Handy-looking ball in, dealt with by the Bradford backline. Now they're on the move. Vernon. That's a handy-looking pass. Robinson chasing it. It's Theo Robinson for Bradford. 1-0. Cool finish from Theo Robinson, but how about that pass from Vernon? Exeter running out of time if they're to protect this long unbeaten record. Haven't suffered defeat in any of their last 15 matches in all competitions. This is key. Still key. Wonderful run this. Runners in the middle. Good ball! And it's in! Sam Nombe with the leveller. 5 minutes left to play. And Nombe makes it 1-1.
Recovery from injury. Long-awaited return to the first team. Lovely football here by Exeter. They're into the area with just 2 minutes in. And they've scored. Josh Coley, the man to send it beyond Jed Ward. Working it well in tight spaces. And here is Edwards. Edwards sends it wide towards the end, and that is a special finish. Makes his way around the outside to pick up the second ball. And has managed to get the cross into the area, and 18-year-old Jed Ward can't keep that one out. And Paddy Amond makes it 3-0 to clear away. Stubbs, another Exeter player, back in the lineup, back from a long-term injury. Reese again, motoring away down that right-hand side. There's the cutback to the edge of the box. And would you believe it, they're in for 4. Paddy Amond with his second of the night. City have turned away. And they're on the break, and they might well be in for goal number 5 here. They are in for goal number 5. Coley adds his second of the night, breaking all the way from the halfway line up into the area. It's away by Exeter City. Well, they do have a goal back. Have allowed Bristol Rovers the chance to attack again, and it's Jones who's looking lively. Jones picks up the far corner. And it comes towards the front post, brilliantly attacked by Anderton. Well, Exeter qualify for the knockout stages of the Papa John's Trophy.
Of course, that match at Bradford means that we now have a replay here at the Park on Tuesday the 16th of November at 7:45, which you can pick up your tickets for now. The draw for the second round was made, and should we progress past the Bantams, we will face either Northampton Town or Cambridge away from home on the first weekend of December. Saturday's game will be our dedicated Remembrance fixture, which falls closest to November the 11th. Players from both sides will be wearing poppy armbands, and the pre-match commemorations will still take place, if not looking slightly differently to what we've seen in previous years. The Lord Lieutenant of Devon and the leader of Exeter City Council, alongside a supporter from each side, will lay a wreath pitch side before the game. There'll also be a recital of the last post and a minute's silence before kick-off. Unlike previous years, there will not be a half-time bucket collection. However, we will have 3 donation points around the ground if you still want to donate to the Poppy Appeal. There's one in the hospitality suite, one in the stagecoach stand, and one in centre spot. Fresh from Wednesday night's match against Bristol Rovers, we caught up with the manager, Matt Taylor, ahead of this one, as City look to make it 4 league wins in a row.
I think there's a lot of clubs at this level who've not been able to get their best group of players out consistently, and I'm sure Keith's exactly the same. We felt we had it towards the start of the season for a small period of time. I think Oldham have probably suffered with it for a longer period of time, and it does affect your form, your confidence, your strength of your squad. And even in the cup competitions recently, they've not been able to make too many changes. So, but they've started moving in the right direction. So I'm sure they'll start producing some results to go on top of their performances as well. But we've got to make sure that we're trying to be at our best this weekend, and we're fully aware that if we play to our potential or we play to our best, then we'll give anyone a game on the day. As always, we'll need a little bit of luck. We'll need to be resolute. We'll need to suffer at certain stages during the game, no matter who we're playing. But we've showed signs certainly in recent weeks and recent months now that we can hurt opposition teams, and that's where we'll be looking this Saturday.
Having been laid off with injury since August, it was so great to see Jack Sparks back in action last weekend at Bradford. He was the man on press duties ahead of this one. Here's what Jacko had to say.
Brilliant, to be honest. I'm so happy to be back out with the lads again. About 2 or 3 months with obviously the collarbone injury. So to be back out playing and getting 90 minutes up in my legs and under my belt, I'm really happy with that.
And a chance to progress in a competition that served us well so far.
Yeah, definitely, it's served us well. With the depth of squad we've got at the moment, it brings a lot of opportunities for players who probably aren't getting the minutes they'd like in the league. So, we're really happy to progress, and it's another game for us guys who aren't really playing at the moment to be able to play.
Oldham Athletic are a club with a bit of a rich history, including playing in the first ever season of the Premier League. With all you need to know about the Latics, here is Jed with a bit of a history lesson.
It's the second of 4 home games on the trot for Exeter City, and Oldham Athletic are the latest team to come here as we return to league action after a win in the Papa John's Trophy. It is said that John Garland, the landlord of a local hotel, decided to form a football club in Oldham. In 1899, the professional club in Oldham liquidated, and Pine Villa FC is now changed its name to Oldham Athletic, which is the club that we see today. In 1907, Oldham were promoted to Division 2, and just 3 years later they reached the top tier of English football for the first time. But it wasn't until 1953 that they won their first league title, and that was the Division 3 North. It was in 1987 that Oldham missed out on promotion back into the first tier, as they lost the first ever playoff final against Leeds United. In 1990 they were back at Wembley again, but they lost to Nottingham Forest in the League Cup final. But a year later they were finally promoted back into the top division, and they can pride themselves knowing that they are founding members of the Premier League. This season though, they find themselves back in League 2, and they haven't started quite as well as they'd have expected. Then they lounge in 22nd, just 2 places off the bottom, going into Saturday's game with City. Keith Curle's engine needs a spark, and Dylan Bahambula is the man to try and provide that for the Latics. The Congolese midfielder has worked tirelessly and has got himself 4 goals and 2 assists already this season. A man who's quite accustomed to a worldie or two, and maybe even a YouTube montage if you have a look at them. He's certainly something that Exeter City will need to keep their eyes out if they're going to stop Oldham ending this unbeaten run. The silky midfielder began his career in France, and after a brief spell in Hungary, he moved to Oldham from Sarko Selo Sofia in October. And with the goals and the assists that he's provided for the Blues, the 26-year-old look like he's going to be one for the future of English football as well. No other man has stood in this dugout at Exeter City, well, on the other side as well, more than Keith Curle. This will be the 18th time that he's faced Exeter City in his managerial career, managing the likes of Carlisle United, Northampton Town and now Oldham Athletic. He joined the Latics midway through last year after the sacking of Harry Kewell, and now he's trying to elevate Oldham up the table and back to where they presumably belong, being a sleeping giant of the league. Not just an excellent manager, Keith Curle was a fantastic player in his day too. The ex-Manchester City man played over 700 games in his career before hanging up his boots and taking up the touchline with Mansfield Town. For those who keep up with the sport with the wrong-shaped ball. Exeter Chiefs are also at home this weekend, so travel arrangements might be a little bit difficult. Great Western Railway are expecting a higher volume of passengers going to and from St James's Park and Digby and Soughton, so they have a contingency plan and they have amended their train times. If you get a regular train on a Saturday to St James's Park, it may have changed. We are hoping that more trains are going to be departing from St James's Park to go onto the Barnstable line and the Paignton line, but you'll have to check your trains before you travel. Back to the real sport now though, and Exeter City have faced Oldham on 32 occasions in all competitions, and a nice round number, 100 goals have been shared between the two, with City scoring 54 of them. City scored an unanswered 3 in the very first meeting in 1937 in the FA Cup, and overall Exeter have won 14 times, there have been 8 draws, and Oldham have won 11 times. Oldham did get the better of Exeter City last season. Last time they played here, Danny Rowe's 40-yard free kick ended Exeter City's 13-game unbeaten run, so no omens there for this weekend. But City generally have a good record at St James Park against the Latics, and here is the highlight of a game from 2011 when Gwelyn Bowser and Dan Nardiello won the game for the Grecians.
It's Oakley over the top. Good football, really good football! They have their goal! Side who finished 8th last season, their best finish in 31 years. And Daniel Nardiello and 18 minutes. Ball is there to be put into the net, and it has been by Gwelyn Bowser. Smashed home. And Exeter City now lead by 2-0. Couldn't miss in the end, Bowser. Delighted.
And finally, Oldham legend Kenny Chater became the youngest ever scorer of a Football League hat-trick in 1955 when he netted 3 times against Mansfield Town. That record stood for 16 years until Birmingham prodigy Trevor Francis broke that record.
Now, are you really an Exeter City fan if you don't have one of these handsome chaps on your wall? The Exeter City calendar is now on sale from the club shop for a bargain price of £8.99, which I'm reliably informed works out at less than 3p a day. All the team are in there, and it's got the full fixture list as well. So rush before Christmas, because once they're gone, they're gone. On Saturday, make sure you pick up the Grecian for just £3.50. In there this weekend is an excellent interview with Padraig Armand, all about life as an Exeter City player in the last few months and the rest of his career to date. If you want to hear the full interview, you just need to download the Exeter City podcast, My Life in Football. It's available right now with lots of different episodes already out, including one with the Exeter City women, wherever you get your podcasts from.
We would start with your first memory of football, but you were a hurler back in your youth days. Just tell us about that.
Well, I've grown up in Ireland. You play Gaelic football and hurling. And probably every sport there is to go on, but they're the two main Irish sports. Learning in school, they're fantastic sports, and I was lucky enough. Like, I played them and I was all right at them, and I played at a very decent level. It's different to soccer or football for everyone. We used to call it soccer growing up because Gaelic football, but if you play for where you're from, so you grow up and you play in the parish where you're from, and then you play for your county, but the counties are a lot smaller in Ireland than possibly what they are over here. So if you grow up in the wrong area, you might not have much chance of being successful. Where I'm from is not probably one of the strongholds in the country of either of the sports, but luckily I was able to, play, and I wanted to play for my county, the whole way growing up, and I did, and I played with them until minor level, which is under 18. Probably shouldn't have been playing the last couple of years, or the last year in particular, because I broke into Shamrock Rovers first team. But I kind of broke into that unexpectedly for me. It kind of all happened really, really quickly. But I'd already been committed to playing hurling with my county, and I didn't want to let anyone down, so I kind of just went along with it. Played the innocent young country lad and said that no one really kind of told me I couldn't play, but once I knew there was a kind of it was getting serious with the soccer, I knew there was an opportunity, or I knew I had to make a decision, and there was only ever going to be one winner in that, and that was soccer.
Still looking for the perfect Christmas gift for the Grecian in your life, or want to treat yourself? Or look no further than a half-season ticket, which are on sale right now. You get 12 home league games starting on Boxing Day against Swindon Town. If you want more information and you want to pick one up, head over to the ticket office, give them a ring, or head over to the website.
Yes! Let's go!
Collins is lurking, and it goes off. It's gone all the way in, right across goal. And it's
Good one, and the header's even better. Tim Dieng and Heiter. That's the best of the lot. Does Jay?
Time now to look back at a previous encounter against the Latics. We don't actually have to go back too far for this one. February 2020, when it was a 5-star performance with 5 different scorers from the Grecians.
Still with Exeter, into the middle, Matt Jay tries to slide it through, opportunity for the Grecians, it's knocked into the goal, and that's a fantastic finish. Right hand side, ball whipped across the goal, the ball is knocked in the shoot, the ball is saved on the line by the Jay, shoots and scores. Exeter 2, pulls it back a bit, Exeter with a bit of room, shot from the edge of the box, it's in! What a foul shot! Profiles across in the end, it's a header, the goalkeeper can't reach it! And it's in! And it's in, swinger up, they jump, it's in! It's gone all the way through! Dickinson will claim the goal. There's the one-time whistle. I think from Exeter City's point of view, they've got to be very, very happy with that. The game was very different.
That's all we've got time for on this week's edition of Park Life. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, the best place to be on Saturday is right here at the park as City take on Oldham Athletic. Tickets are on sale now, right up until kick-off on Saturday afternoon. If you can't be with us, then make sure you follow the game on our social media channels, or listen on iFollow, or even watch it if you're lucky enough to be overseas for just £10. One last thing for me to say, as always, up the Ziddy.